You can make a sound too if you want. Huh? Go like this, chop chop. Yeah? There we go. See that?
That's like you're working at home.
There we go. So that's, whenever that's ready, now you grab that, put in that bowl for her. Just grab everything, good job.
So this is Chefs Move to School's second annual event, and we are working at Sarasota High School with Chef Darwin, and we're preparing his specialty dish. It includes a chimichurri, which is kind of his signature from his restaurant. And we got a couple kids helping out, and we're going to see how everybody likes it out in the cafeteria.
And then put cilantro?
And then put chimichurri right on top.
I got you.
Okay, so go ahead. You want to do the chimichurri? And I was intrigued to find out how was the school lunch, you know? So then she goes, hey, by the way, Darwin, you're going to Sarasota High. I was like, wow, this is wonderful, because I'm an alumni from Sarasota High. They have a beautiful kitchen inside, which we never had when I was here. So I met with the principal and trying to find out what they're doing, and it's just very excited for me to have some of how I eat, how my kids eat, show with the high school kids.
Really excited that Chef Darwin was able to come to their class. So instead of a 47-minute class with me, they got a 47-minute class with Darwin for 4 weeks. And they tasted plantains and spicy food and chimichurri sauce, and they really enjoyed the experience and learned a lot from it.
That he likes his rice and beans, but we didn't make his rice and beans. We made a quinoa with chicken. So tell me what you think.
This is just as good.
Huh?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
You can taste all the different. You can taste a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
We continue to evolve with food nutrition services. Sarasota County, we really stay above the curve, I would say. We're doing a big push with our farm to school movement, so we're using a lot of local produce that's not only grown here in Florida, but also looking into possibly growing it on school ground and using it in the cafeteria.
It's very challenging to get a lot of students interested in eating healthy. But if you make one difference, I got a letter from a parent saying, usually when my kids get home, it's just like pulling the teeth to find out how was your school day. So she said, but as soon as he came in, he was talking about this spice that he tasted, this flavor that he tasted at school. He was so excited, and she goes, Darwin, thank you so much, because my son is trying new different things, and that makes my day.
Right now, we're working on the recipes that will actually be served at the event, and it has to go through rigorous tests. We have to test it with the student population. We need a 70% approval rate to move forward.
Whatever this green sauce is right here, it's fantastic. Oh, I gotta love it. Watch this. So, if it looks good, like its overall appearance, then it's a thumbs up, right? You said it looked good, right? Good. Yeah.
We have to see if it works with the equipment we have in our kitchens. All of these restaurant kitchens where the chefs work have fancy tools, and we don't have those things. So we need to make sure that the recipe can relate to what we do on a normal day. So while I come from the same background as these chefs, so I went through the same exact process when I started. They come in and don't realize the strict time constraints. I would say that's number one, next to the budget. To having a $10, $20 plate cost, we have about a $1 plate cost.
It's very challenging because of the budget, but it's not impossible. There's so many things that we can do, work a little program with farmers, building a garden here in the school. There's so many things that we can do.
This is a cucumber, right?
No.
Nope, that is a zucchini.
Oh.
That is a zucchini. So remember we all had homework, when I asked about homework?
So today we're out in the Gauchio School Garden. This is something that's been developed prior to Chefs Move to Schools. And the kids are just learning about everything that's growing out here. They have a lot of awesome herbs and vegetables and fruit growing. So they're learning about what's available to them here in Florida, let alone in Sarasota, and learning about some of the things that are actually a part of their dish.
A lot of times, especially nowadays, where we've moved away from the kitchen, where we've become very busy, our lifestyles are always on the move, and we lose focus and where good food is at. And we're buying things on shelves, and kids are getting adapted to things that they shouldn't be. I mean, I'm making a simple dish of ratatouille. You know, it's a fun movie, it's a great dish, but it's my own play on it. And I think it's fun for kids to be able to enjoy little things like that.
So it's always inspiring to see kids try new things, and things that you wouldn't think are new to them are actually new to them, like a zucchini. Some kids have never even seen a zucchini, let alone held one in their hand or tasted it. So it's neat to see their eyes open. One of them said it's like a rainbow in my mouth when they tried a cranberry hibiscus plant. So it's neat to see their kind of realization, like all of these different foods are out there and they taste so amazing.
All right, so we know to start it, remember? Holding the hand here, put this in this hand, and you want to palm it, okay? And we want to start it. You see this strip here? So you want to start right here for me, okay? We're here to inspire, and being a chef, you know, being passionate about what you do, inspiration comes, and if I can put that inspiration back into a child's mind for them to keep asking questions, it's a positive thing.
The school garden is really a concept that's kind of growing district-wide, let alone nationwide. And so that's really been a great way for all schools in the district to learn about fruits and vegetables and where their food comes from. We also try to do a lot of the education in our cafeteria with using our farm-to-school produce. And Chef's Move to School kind of just helps bring awareness to that. It's an ongoing, continual process that we have to reach for, but really just spreading the word and doing an event like this raises the awareness in the community.
I had the opportunity to work at Phillippi Shores Elementary. I had 4 great students that I worked with, and we created a new chicken dish with a sweet potato side dish and some collard greens that we're sauteing with some couscous. Most all of our vegetable ingredients came right out of our garden. We have a school garden here. All the children participate in the garden. We have a garden club, and it's also built right into the curriculum. So we are growing good ingredients, bringing them into the kitchen, composting the trimmings, putting them back into the garden, and cooking great food for the kids, and we're loving doing it.
On the night of the event, a lot of the produce they'll be using, actually, some of it will be coming from the garden, so they can actually taste those items, and they'll be helping to prepare the dish. So they'll recognize those things and say, hey, I know what that is. I know what it tastes like. I know what I'm supposed to do with it. I did this with it at home. It will all hopefully infuse over into our event, and then hopefully carry on after that.
I think some of the ahas are exactly the amount of food that we prepare in a day, the cleanliness of our kitchens, the commitment of our employees, really what margin we have to operate with to produce thousands of meals every day.
It's amazing how many things they're cooking from scratch. At the same time, they have a budget of about $1 per lunch meal. So if you take the milk carton out of that and then leave the rest for the food cost, you have to really get creative.
Lots of guests here tonight. We have school board members. We have, of course, a lot of school staff, parents, teachers, students, just tasting these awesome recipes that the chefs and student teams have created. We have live music from Booker Middle School Jazz Band. Enjoying our event outside this year. Our first year it was inside, and with our farm to school focus, we really wanted a fresh kind of outdoorsy, earthy approach. So we're right here next to the Phillippi School Garden, enjoying the outdoors.
And it's amazing, now that the children are taking part in growing it, they're eating more vegetables. Things that they wouldn't try before, they've seen it grow, now they're curious and they want to try it.
Kids are just great. I think the biggest aha moment is the fact that kids are so smart. Their way of thinking today is so many miles ahead of where I was when I was their age. And it's just really fun to see how their minds work and how creative and what good ideas they have. I think our future is definitely in great hands.
It was really fun, and we got to learn a lot about like herbs and all that, coriander and all those spices, and we prepared some really good burgers, and they're for vegetarian, and also we learned about quinoa, grain, and how it's like originated in like very cold areas and like in mountains, and it was a really good experience.
Everything that we're doing tonight is Middle Eastern or based on Middle Eastern dishes. And the kids were great. They're really into it. They had a blast cooking in the kitchen, and they all tasted it. I'm not going to say everyone loved everything, but they all tried it, and I think they all liked it, and some of them really loved it a lot. So that's always fun to see too, when you turn kids on to new things.
So our first year we came up with 9 recipes from our event, and they all went on our school lunch menu. A lot of them we still serve today. That's hopefully what will happen. They'll stand the test of time. Kids will continue to like them and gain popularity. From here, they will go on the menu, contingent upon them meeting all those regulations. We'll serve them at the event that night, and that really kind of helps to create an interest for the dish, helps parents understand what we're actually doing here in the program. But yeah, eventually they go on the menu, and all of Sarasota County gets to try them.
I think Chef's Move is a wonderful program because it makes the students realize how hard the people in the cafeteria work to make our food healthy, and I think it was a great experience.
I hope the kids, really take something from this. I've got a real passion, and I've got a great team that I'm going to be working with, and I hope to do more in the future with the schools. I've been very blessed and very lucky to be a part of something that is, I think is going to provide a lot of change in a lot of people's lives.
If you do want to get a farm-to-table type of program, people that are watching, people that are parents, chefs, or restaurateurs, I would highly recommend to get involved with some kind of school program, because you can make a big difference.
It's amazing. My hopes and dreams now are hopefully we've created a model, and that the other 41 campuses, and there are some other school gardens out there certainly, and some of them are doing a great job with it, but I think every school should have a garden. It should be part of the curriculum. The children should understand nutrition, where their food comes from, families, parents, chefs in communities. If you've got kids in your schools, if you have a school close by, get involved, get in there and help that cafeteria staff create a garden and help them to create more interesting food for the children.
Well, first and foremost, I hope that the kids got a love for food that I have, because, and not necessarily that they want to be a chef or anything like that, but just a love for food. Like I said, everything starts around food. So many great relationships and friendships start around food. And hopefully they learn something about eating healthy, taking care of their bodies, putting good things into their bodies, and hopefully maybe that'll take them through life.
Chef's Move to School is something that really has helped our department evolve, and it's something that we really want to continue every year. We want to bring in more chefs, we want to bring in more students and involve more schools, and really make this kind of a community approach where parents and families can really understand that we're doing our best to do all that we can to serve healthy meals that kids like.